Wow.
Lots going on this planet,
Wow.
as you know.
Wow, a guy that talks to 16 million people a day. I'm lucky if I talk to 2 million. George Norrie, the icon, second biggest radio show in the world, calling in. George, so much is happening. I'm glad you called because all these military personnel said UFOs were going to show up yesterday and today. I made fun of it, and here's ABC News. FAA unable to identify object flying over New York City. And I look at it, it looks like something out of Star Wars or The Fifth Element. You're the expert on this. What in the world is going on?
It is bizarre. That's going to be our first hour tonight, Alex, on Coast to Coast. Nobody knows what's going on. Police say it could have been a balloon. Now, balloons don't stay stationary up there unless they're tethered. There was no tether.
Balloons don't have big lights on the front of them like out of Blade Runner.
Exactly. And what about the reports of China shutting down airports? Something bizarre is going on here. Now, you know, I'm going to be one of the first to say, look, some of this could be governmental. There's no doubt about that. But I've always believed that this planet's been visited by ETs, and we might have even been seeded by them. But something's going on. If all this is real, and they're coming back now, it's strange. But you got to remember, there's always been a talk about Project Bluebeam, and that is a false flag, a UFO invasion to get us all riled up so the New World Order can do what they want to do. You're aware of it, I'm aware of it, and I think we need to constantly watch that possibility.
People can find out all of this at davidike.com, but the final issues I want to cover with you, you were just on, wasn't it just last week, David?
Yeah, last week, mate.
And we were talking about Project Bluebeam, a staged fake alien invasion. And folks, if you don't believe us, just search the term Project Bluebeam. Part of it's been declassified. It goes back to the 60s and 70s. And in the 90s, they declassified stuff. I even saw in Popular Mechanics about 3,000-foot holograms the Pentagon can project of the Easter Bunny, Jesus, Buddha, whatever they want. You know, David Icke, I mean, you know, they can project Superman up there. They can project Alex Jones. They can project, you know, George Bush, Kim Jong-il. They could do anything they wanted, and they admitted to unify the Earth against an outside alien threat. That's how they want to get their world government.
Right.
Well, to then see these, quote, military people come out and say, the aliens will arrive over major cities, including New York, on the 13th. And then we're going to show that ABC News article up on screen right now. Then I'm going to Zbigniew Brzezinski after that. Sorry, I flipped that on the guys. FAA unable to identify object flying over New York City, and it looks like something out of you know, Star Wars / The Fifth Element, hovering with, you know, lights on it and everything. Well, we know they've got all sorts of hovercraft. We know the Germans had stuff that looked like flying saucers. That's where the original stories. We know they say the SR-71 Blackbird in service in 55, developed in 52. So they say the fastest plane in the world, you know, over 50 years ago. Total baloney. We know that they kept for 20 years secret the B-2 bomber. We know that DARPA had computers and internet in the 60s. We know all that, but to now have the Pentagon and the press club and all this promotion and all these TV shows and all this push that aliens are about to land. David, I'm going to give you the floor for about 5 minutes on this. Then I've got the Zbigniew Brzezinski clip and about how we're going to win. I want to get your take on that, and I'll let you get out to you know, some of the other interviews and things you're doing there in New York City. But, I mean, here it is, because this morning I'm like, oh, the UFOs didn't come, and then boom, they arrive. There's reports all over the world. I mean, this is big. I mean, if aliens are showing up, folks, they're not going to have Air Force officers telling you they're about to arrive. And we need to look up the names of all these people and really do some deep research, because we know there's a government program to stage this, to unify people, and also to cover up your research that there is off-world activity and that they're trying to create a hoax to control that situation. David, for about 5-6 minutes, you've got the floor. Then I've got one other issue for you. David Icke of davidike.com.
Well, the thing that we need to appreciate, first of all, when it comes to high technology, is that there is a cutting edge of technology that we see in the public arena, and then there's what they can really do. And they've been covering up in the underground facilities for decades the fact that they have anti-gravity technology, what people call flying saucers. And so just because a craft is in the sky that no one has seen before, and no, it can't be human, look at it, we don't have them. Well, actually, we do have them. They don't show you that they have them. And this period that we're in now is like so many strands are coming together at the same time. On one level, it seems as if the control system is coming in more and more and more. And on one level it is, and it's going to seem like it's going to continue for a while yet. But what we're actually seeing is a cornered rat. And a cornered rat kind of thrashes out because it's got nowhere else to go. It's in a panic. And so we've reached this point now where I've been saying for ages that they're going to throw the kitchen sink and the plug at us. So we're getting these strands coming together like a perfect storm of chaos and fear and confusion and bewilderment with the economic situation, with wars, with probably fake terrorist events coming along again, but also they're throwing in this fake alien invasion stuff. And, you know, as you say, Alex, when the military tell you it's coming and it comes, well, you know, please, you know, the situation is so blatant, and it's been building for a while. In my new book that came out like about 3 or 4 months ago, there's a section in there that talks about this and the fact that I'd seen this sea change take place in the attitude of the authorities to the whole UFO phenomenon. For year after year, decade after decade, it was just dismissed. Oh, a load of rubbish. Oh, no, and all that stuff. Oh, no, it's a weather balloon and all this business. And suddenly there was a switch where suddenly they were giving it credibility. They were giving it credence, and then these military people started speaking out, and then there was all these papers have come to light. Churchill knew about it and said, "Oh no, we mustn't release it," and all this stuff, and it's all coming together in the same period of time, and it's moving somewhere, and it's very important that people realize what the game is, because one of the great contributions that people have made over the last decade or more in making public what the agenda is, it's diffusing the power of that agenda when it's introduced. If you have strange flying saucers appearing over New York or wherever out of nowhere, and then they tell you, oh, it's an alien invasion. Well, there's a good chance you're going to believe it, because to your eyes it seems like that. But if you've been told what the agenda is beforehand, hey, this is the plan, then those people are not pulled in by it. They're not manipulated by it. They say, hey, this is a fake, this is a setup, and it's designed to do this. And so the information that's got out up to this point has had a tremendous impact and made a tremendous contribution to diluting the power of this agenda as it's introduced. You know, and people talk about the microchipping agenda ages and ages ago. As the microchipping agenda comes in, people say, hey, this is what they said was going to happen. If it comes in without that information before, then it comes in a much more powerful way. So, you know, we need to get this information circulating, not least about this whole alien bloody nonsense. Yes, that there are non-human groups and races that are manipulating this planet. I've been writing about it for years, but is that what this is? No way. It's a problem reaction solution to create a mass acceptance of centralizing power in the world to meet the threat to the planet. When you want to change the world on a global level, you want global problems, rather, that you can give global solutions to. So you want a global economic crash, world central bank, etc., centralized control of finance. You have global warming or climate change that they're trying to sell as human cause. That's a threat to the planet. It's a world problem if you accept the nonsense that it's a problem, and therefore you can give a global solution to it.